Less prying and more privacy. Civil liberty campaigners from across Europe are in Berlin to demonstrate against what they see as a Big Brother approach to surveillance. They say they can't trust the governments and businesses which monitor their lives, complaining of a lack of transparency in the way information is used. Activists also say the threat of terror and crime don't justify the level of CCTV cameras and constant monitoring. RT's Igor Ogrodnev is following the demonstration in Berlin.
This sort of mass demonstration would have been inconceivable merely 20 years ago, but of course in 2 decades our technologies have advanced hugely. Now every single time you go on the internet, your employer or your internet provider can trace what websites you have been to. Every single time you walk on the streets, you are being recorded by multiple CCTV cameras. Every single time you make a purchase, this financial information gets logged to your bank and once again to the authorities. What this requires is greater trust from the government. But of course these people are saying you cannot trust the government, specifically because once information used to be kept by your national government, now increasingly it's being collected in Europe. In 2009, something called the Stockholm Programme was implemented. Make no mistake about it, this is a major change in the way that data is being collected about every citizen in the European Union. Instead of just being kept at the national level, it's now all going to be gathered at these huge European-wide databases. What these protesters want to know is why. Who's going to be accountable for how this information is used? There's no transparency about how this information is used. So they're saying that the European Union has no right to simply control all of its hundreds of millions of citizens. Of course, there have been several problematic cases in Germany itself, a particularly egregious case of an employer spying on its own employees, including their extremely private details, such as when they're likely to get pregnant and go on pregnancy leave and so on, which was considered totally inappropriate, particularly considering the history of Germany, the fact that its eastern part was part of an authoritarian regime with its own secret police that was notorious worldwide. So what these people are saying, that not only should we not roll out any further measures, we should abandon the ones that we have got. We should stop having nationwide and European-wide databases on where everybody goes to school, where everybody travels, where everybody is employed. They're asking for all of this information to be rolled back, to be given back to the owners, for the privacy to be restored.
Our position is to say that security and freedom walk hand in hand. They don't oppose to each other. If we want to live in a democracy, we need to risk a little. Democracy means risk.
Of course, the government is unlikely to agree with these demands. They keep saying that this information has to be collected in order to fight terrorism, in order to fight crime. And as always, they say that if you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to fear from the government.